Do you want to turn rough rocks into mere shine gems? Today I'm going to go ahead and share with you the fastest, most effective way that I go ahead and pump out beautiful shiny rocks to share on this channel every week, and sharing all the mistakes that I've made over the last year and how I fixed them so you don't have to. Today I'm condensing everything so you can get started faster and get better results. Plus I'm going to show you my secret weapon, which makes tracking every stage effortless. Alright, so before we go ahead and start tumbling, we need to go ahead and pick out our rocks to tumble first. Generally, we're not too picky. I just pick pretty much whatever catches my eye and throw it in, because stage one, we're just getting the shaping done. So we really don't care what we put in there unless we have a huge batch of one particular kind of rock. We're just going to go ahead and put in whatever. And essentially what you're going to do here is you're going to go ahead and fill up your tumbler, your barrel, 3/4 of the way. This gives your rocks a little bit of room to tumble around without crashing into each other too hard. Next, you're going to want to go and fill your barrel with water up to the bottom of the top layer of rocks. This will give room for your tumbler to create a slurry and some airspace that it'll use up as it thickens. Next, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of coarse grit, either 60/90 or 80. We cut down from the usual 3 tablespoons because we found we get a lot less waste with the same results. Throughout this video, you're going to hear me mention a lot of stuff about cross-contamination. I almost forgot, definitely used individual sets of measuring spoons for each grit to make sure you don't have any kind of cross-contamination before you even start tumbling. After that, you're going to want to dump in a little bit of borax. We don't exactly measure, just around a tablespoon or so. We use borax in every stage of our tumbling, including burnishing. Next, we're going to want to go ahead and seal up the barrel properly. Seat the gasket flat, push the sides out to release pressure if you need to. Add the lid, the washer, and then screw on the lock nut. Make sure you tighten the lock nut until there are no gaps. We run Harbor Freight tumblers, which are double 3-pound barrel tumblers. We run these constantly, and so far they've been really reliable. We've also added a Rebel 17 to our fleet as well, so make sure you go ahead and check that review out when it comes out soon. Alright, so every week you're going to want to open, rinse, and inspect your rocks. You're going to take your finished rocks and throw them in a different bin or somewhere to go ahead and keep them safe until you get around tumbling them, and then refill your barrels with new rough ones. This is an ongoing process that's constantly running in the background. We are always saving up our stage 2 rocks that come out of the stage 1 tumblers until we have enough to go ahead and put into our 5-pound Vibratory tumbler. Now we'll go ahead and inspect our stage 1 rocks after they've been running for a week. First off, you're going to go ahead and rinse the rocks, and then you're going to want to go ahead and look at them for smooth surfaces and make sure that there's no deep pits or fingernail catching spots. Anything that your nail can catch on is a noticeable defect and needs to go back into stage 1 for a little bit more time. Small cracks may add character, but sometimes they'll also trap grit, which can ruin your further stages. Alright, I just want to go ahead and add in here that I never use my strainer after stage 1. You go ahead and do stage 1. I use a strainer. It's plastic. It can hold grit, and you can get cross-contamination. So after using the strainer for stage 1, I just go ahead and for stage 2, 3, and 4, I actually just take them out of the bowl by hand and throw them in the thing of water. I don't ever put them in the strainer so it gets cross-contamination. If you're going to go ahead and use a strainer on every stage, make sure you have a designated strainer for each stage, or get a really good metal one that you can clean off easy. As we take good rocks out of our stage 1 tumblers, we put them in our stage 2 bucket to later go into the vibratory tumbler. Rocks that have been through stage 1 can go ahead and dry out. However, after you go ahead and start the vibratory tumbler process, you cannot let your rocks dry out at all, or else your slurry can go ahead and dry in the crack and ruin the polish. Alright, so keeping track of stage 1 is pretty easy. You're going to go ahead and just run it for 1 week at a time. You can just go ahead and check it every Wednesday. It's not like it's a big, huge problem. But once you start getting into the vibratory tumbling, you're going to notice that you need to go ahead and change your rocks on different days of the week all the time. One thing that's made my life so much easier is tracking all my stages, times, and notes in my free app called Tumbler Buddy. I'll show you some quick examples of it as we go. Alright, so going into stage 2 here, this is the spot where you're going to want to go ahead and sort your rocks by hardness if you actually want to do so. I found that the worst thing that happens is you're going to go ahead and get your softer rocks that are just not going to get a shine, and they're not going to be as shiny as if you ran them with other softer rocks. But all in all, it will not ruin your batch or anything. You're just going to have rocks that don't turn out quite as good. If you use the Tumbler Buddy app, there's actually a place where you can go ahead and look at your rocks and see the hardnesses of them. So that way, if you wanted to go ahead and group them by hardness, it makes it easy for that. After we get enough rocks to do a batch in our vibratory tumbler, we're going to go ahead and actually weigh the rocks out. We tear off the weight of the bowl and then fill the bowl with rocks to 4.5 pounds. This is for a 5-pound bowl, which leaves us room to go ahead and add media. Next, we're going to go ahead and take the rock and the ceramic media and put them all into a thing of water. When we fill the bowl, we're actually going to go ahead and take handfuls of the rocks and the media and place them in the bowl. We don't want any extra water, just the water that is on the rocks and media. This is one of the biggest mistakes that beginners make. Do not add any extra water. We are actually doing closer to a dry tumble than we are a wet tumble like we are with the rotary tumblers. Afterwards, if the bowl isn't already on the post, we're going to go ahead and drop the bowl onto the center post and then go ahead and snug down the rubber lock nut tightly. Use a rag or a towel to go ahead and get some extra turns on it. You do not want this to get loose during your tumbling. Now that we got our bowl loaded with wet rocks, we're going to go ahead and load 1 level tablespoon of 220 grit. Currently, we're using Kingsley North. I want to go ahead and actually experiment with this. I feel like you can actually use a little bit less than 1 level tablespoon. You want to shake this around the rocks, as well as add 1 to 2 tablespoons of borax. This is something I also just kind of eyeball. Next, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure the lid is on tight. Use a rag to get extra couple turns on your lock nut on the lid as well. After your tumbler has been running for about 12 hours, it should start building up a slurry. You want to check this every 12 to 24 hours. If it's too dry and your rocks barely move, you want to add a small splash of water, like a couple squirts out of a bottle. And if it's too wet, you want to add some dry ceramic media or something else to go ahead and get some of that water out of there. You should only have a little bit of water in here to begin with, though. After 12 to 24 hours, your slurry should be pretty thick and your rocks should just be creeping along each other. Your slurry should look something like this in stage 2 or 3. If it doesn't, make sure you adjust it according to how I just mentioned. So our Tumbler Buddy app just went off and it's time to go ahead and clean our rocks. First, we're going to want to go ahead and add a half cup of water, just about an inch or so on the bottom of our bowl, and run it for about a half hour to loosen all the sludge. After that, we're going to go ahead and rinse them off, throw them in water to make sure they're super clean, or at least as clean as we can get them, and then put them back inside the bowl. Next, we're going to go ahead and do our burnish stage. From here, we put the rocks back into the bowl, put about a half an inch of clean water on the bottom, and go ahead and put in a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of borax. We're going to run this for another half hour for stages 2 and 3 and for a full hour after stage 4. The burner stage loosens all the stuck grit and sludge from the last stage so that no contaminants make it to the next stage. All right, now that Tumbler Buddy went off and our burnish stage is done, we're going to go ahead and take all the rocks and we're going to put them into a clean thing of water. We're going to take all of our ceramic and put it into the box or bag for that stage's ceramic. So we actually separate our ceramic by stage. Our stage 2 ceramic only gets used in stage 2, our stage 3 only in stage 3, and our polish only in polish. This keeps the risk of grit contamination at a low. We see a lot of people that don't separate their ceramics between stages, and this is probably the reason why they're not getting quite as good results as we are. All right, now that we have our rocks and our ceramics separated, we're going to go ahead and clean our bowl. With this setup, I only have to go ahead and clean the bowl after stage 2 because, well, we don't care if stage 3 gets in stage 2 because we have a dedicated polish bowl. So we're going to go ahead and get all that grit out of the bowl that's stuck in there from stage 2. And to do that, I use this handy dandy little attachment on the end of a hand drill. And I'm going to go ahead and there's going to be a link in the description for our Amazon shop. You're going to find most everything that we use on there. So go ahead and check that out if you want to go ahead and get any of these supplies. We're going to make sure that this bowl is completely clean as we can get it. We don't want no grit coming over to the next level at all. So don't stop until everything runs clean and you don't see anything left on the bowl. All right, now that stage 2 is done, we're going to go ahead and start stage 3. We don't ever want these rocks to dry out from here on out. So after they get into stage 2, they have to stay wet all the way through. All right, so we're going to go ahead and load stage 3 the same way that we loaded stage 2. Throw our ceramic inside of the water with the rocks, and then we're going to go ahead and take those out in handfuls and throw them into the bowl. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of 600 silicon carbide plus some borax. And we're going to go ahead and check this daily, just like we did with stage 2. We want to make sure that our moisture is good and we got a nice thick slurry like we showed before. Make sure that you're using your dedicated stage 3 ceramics as well. All right, so for stage 3, we're going to run this for 3 days. We're just going to go ahead and start the tumbler, and we're going to go ahead and hit go on Tumbler Buddy to have it start tracking for us. And when that gets done, we're going to come down and we're going to go ahead and clean these rocks the same exact way we just did with stage 2 for stage 3 by running a 30-minute clean and then a 30-minute burnish. And then we're going to go ahead and take all the rocks out, take and separate the media just like we did before, and we're going to go ahead and start stage 4. All right, so the Raytech Tumble Vibe 5 that we use currently came with 2 bowls. So we have a designated polish bowl, so I don't actually have to clean this bowl ever. I just keep on reusing it. Plus, you're going to notice too, after tumbling for a while, that your polish are going to have the best looking ceramics. They're going to be by far the biggest, the less wear, because they're not really being worn down by grit or anything. Next, we're going to go ahead and start stage 4, and that's pretty much just like the other stages. We're going to go ahead and take our rocks out of the water along with the ceramic media for stage 4, and we're going to go ahead and put those into the bowl. We're going to add a light tablespoon or a heaping teaspoon of the polish compound. We're currently working on just like working all these down and reducing the amount of waste that we have with our grit and our polish. I think that under a teaspoon is probably where you should be for polish. We might be using a little bit more right now, but we're getting awesome results, so we're not complaining. Then we're going to go ahead and add some borax, tighten everything up good, and start the vibratory tumbler and go ahead and hit run on our app. Stage 4, just like stage 2, is 2 days long versus the 3 days of stage 3. After 2 days, our app let us know that it was time to go ahead and check on the rocks. The process that we go ahead and do with cleaning and the burnish is a little bit different with the polish stage, or actually the cleaning stage is the exact same. We're just going to go ahead and add the water in there, run it for a half hour, and when our timer goes off, we come down, take all the rocks out, put them in the water along with the ceramic, clean the bowl out as best we can, and then add a tiny bit of water to the bottom, just like we normally would when we do our burnish. Add everything back in, put an extra little bit of borax maybe this time, and we let this one actually run for an hour. After the hour is up, we go ahead and take the rocks out and put them into a thing of clean water. Make sure your water is clean. You don't want to have any other kind of grit or any kind of junk in there. But we take all our rocks out, put them in the clean water, separate the ceramic, and put them in their box. And from here, I normally just let my rocks sit in the water for a little bit. They get like a nice soapy, slimy feeling. And what I do is I just let them sit for a little while, and then I go ahead and take them out and put them onto a towel and let them dry naturally. Some additional information I'd like everyone to go ahead and take from this video is to actually be generous with your borax for one. It's cheap. It really helps, move your sludge along, and it also helps clean your rocks towards the end. Your ceramics, you can use the smaller, pellet size ones. I really don't like them that much. I really like the triangle ones from Harbor Freight. For whatever reason, the small ceramics do build up on one side. I want to say it's because of the basement not being 100% level, maybe. I haven't really took a level to it to go ahead and see if that's what it is, because that's the first thing I usually tell people when they ask me when that happens, is to make sure that, everything's level. Otherwise, I just say use the bigger ceramics, or use the triangle ones like I do. I really like those. Vibratory tumbling is almost like dry tumbling. You don't want too much water. You want to use minimal amount of water so you get a really good slurry, so they kind of creep along each other. This isn't like rotary tumbling where they're like tumbling around and smashing into each other and stuff like that. You want to have a really good thick slurry and barely no water with a vibratory tumbler. Tightening your bolts up, you want to make sure you go ahead and tighten your lock nuts up really snug. Use a rag. I usually use a rag, and I'll even start the vibratory tumbler and then try to get an extra turn or two on it when it's running. You seem to actually get a few more turns when it's moving. Cleaning between stages and cross-contamination is crucial. Make sure that you clean your bowls really good. Make sure you don't use the same, plastic strainers. You're not using the same ceramic media. A lot of the things that go into getting really good polish on your rocks is actually not getting cross-contamination. It's a huge thing, and I think that it's not taken serious enough. Your grit amount, like I said, my grit amounts through this, you can actually go ahead and probably use less. I'm working on testing things to see, what I should actually be using, but using a little more definitely doesn't hurt anything. It might cost a little more, but it's not going to go ahead and hurt your rocks by any means. When it comes down to rock selection, like I said, you can go ahead and separate your hardnesses and everything. From my experience, what I've learned is that your rocks that are softer just aren't going to polish well with the tougher rocks. That's all it comes down to. Your tougher rocks are still going to come out good. When it comes down to getting rid of your waste, I use this 5-gallon bucket. I just basically cut a hole in the lid, throw a strainer in it. Shout out to Rob from Michigan Rocks for that one. And I just go ahead and dump all my stuff into that bucket. After it gets, 3/4 of the way full, I carry it outside and I dump it in the yard. Definitely don't want to put the stuff down your drain. It will clog your drain. The bottom of my bucket probably has 1.5 inches of slurry that's just like rock, just a rock cake that's just sitting there. I need to dry it out one of these days. The one last thing I'm going to leave you with is you can actually skip stage 1. If you're going to use a vibratory tumbler and you have rocks that are beach worn and they might have a little bit of a husk on them, but they're really well rounded. They don't have any cracks. Okay, you got to make sure they don't have any cracks and they're really well rounded. But other than that, if you can actually put them in stage 2 and run stage 2 for additional days. I would go like 3 or 4 days on stage 2 to get rid of that rind and make sure everything turns out good. But in my experience, 3 days on stage 2, 3 days on stage 3, and 2 days on stage 4 at the polish, they actually worked out good. All right, so there you have it. This is my process from beginning to end on how I get such beautiful rock. I always use the rotary tumbler for the rough shaping and the vibratory to go ahead and get the fast polishing. The vibratory takes a week to go ahead and run a batch of rocks. The rotary tumbler, if you're going to run it from stage 1 through stage 4 or 5 or whatever your kit has, it's going to go ahead and take you like a couple months at very, very, very minimum. Like you're looking 2 to 4 months, 5 months for a batch of rocks with the rotary versus the vibratory tumbler. You find the vibratory gives a really, really nice mirror shine. It has really good consistency. You want to go ahead and check your rotary tumblers every week, and you want to check every 12 to 24 hours on your vibratory tumbler just to make sure that everything's keeping moving good and you're, wet enough / dry enough. If you have any questions at all, make sure to go and drop them below. I respond to every comment, and I'm always happy to help my rock fam. If you like rock tumbling hints, tips, experiments, and just all around shiny rocks, make sure you go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit like, give us a thumbs up, throw us some hype, do whatever it is you do on the platform you're watching it on. And if you're looking to go ahead and make your rock tumbling life a lot easier, make sure you check out Tumbler Buddy on both Android and iOS. I hope you all have an awesome day. Until next time, Rock Fam, deuces!